Please subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another updates from my YouTube channel.
So today I'm going to talk about how to trigger the AWS Lambda function from API gateway. Okay, in the last video I gone through Spring Cloud function on AWS Lambda. Okay, so if you haven't seen, so please go through this. I'm going to attach this URL in the description. Okay, so this is my AWS playlist, guys. So if you want to see playlist videos, so you can just go through this playlist videos as well. Okay, and so now, so let's open our project. Okay, so this is the application that I have created in the last video. So if you haven't seen, so let me explain from scratch. So I just have an entity class. Okay, so I just added like data for setters and getters. For constructors, I have added this new arguments constructor and all arguments constructed. Okay, and after that I have one repository. This repository will return some 3 students data, and so now I'm going to make use of this repository with the help of the auto-wide, and I'm going to get the data from that repository. Okay, so I'm just written some functions. So in Java we have a couple of functions like supplier, function, consumer, okay, and predicate, all those functions. And here I'm just finding my name, so I'm just taking the student list from the repository and I'm streaming and filtering with the student name, and I'm just returning here. Okay, that's what I did. And so now, so here find my name is returning the list of students. So this is the input and this is the output, guys. Okay, so the input is string here. Now if you want to use API gateway, so how you are going to use API gateway as an input as well as output, I'm going to explain here. Okay, so to work with this, basically like to work with uh, AWS Lambda, we have to create one handler. Okay, in the last video I have created one handler, so that is going to be extend Spring Boot request handler. It's going to take input and the output. Okay, input is string and the output is object here. Okay, now I'm going to use input as a API gateway here. So here we have some API gateway proxy request event. Okay, so you can use this. Let's open this. So here we have a couple of parameters, so like path, resource, HTTP method, headers, query string parameters, path parameters. So if you want to use query parameters, so you can use here. Path parameters also can use here. We have headers. Okay, all those stuff available here. Now, so let's open our main application. So here input is string, right? So to work with the API gateway request event, we have to use here as well API gateway proxy request event. Okay, so this input, I'm just changing the name. Okay, so this will have query string parameters, so you can just provide some name here. Okay, I'm just provided the name. So this name, like if I provided like query string parameters as a Tom or Ran, so that student data has to be written here. That's it. Okay, so this is working with the API gateway proxy request event. So what if like if you want to use API gateway proxy response event? Okay, so now I'm going to create another handler. So let's take my API gateway handler. Okay, so which is going to be extends, so Spring Boot request handler. Okay, so this is going to be take, sorry guys, so here we have API gateway request event, comma, so here API gateway, so we have response event as well, so let's use this. Okay, so let's maximize this, guys. I just extended this Spring Boot request handler. I just provided like API gateway, proxy request event, and the response event. So this is the input and this is the output. Okay. Now let's write another function inside the main application. So let's add one more bean, guys. Public function. Okay. So here I'm going to take API request event, API response event. Okay. So get response. So now we need this response event object. Okay, let's create this. And so this response event I'm going to set the body. So body, okay, so this is the function, right, guys? So this function is going to be written something value. Okay, inside this body I'm going to write the logic. Okay, this value will have the body. Sorry guys, it should be written, okay, value dot get body, and let's take response event dot set status code. I'm going to take 201, that is created status code response event dot set headers. Okay, so the headers, let's take some value collections dot so singleton map is there, so let's use this. So this could be content type. Okay, the key should be content type and value is application hyphen JSON. Okay, so that's it, guys. And now let's return this response event, right? Okay, it's created. Now let's build this and let's test this application, guys. So now it will take time to build. So in the meantime, go to AWS console and click on all services. Here you will find the Lambda. So create function. So I'm going to create from scratch. Okay, and so let's provide some name. My API gateway, and let's provide some runtime environment. So Java 11, and permissions, I'm not going to provide any permissions here. Okay, let's create the function. Okay, it's created successfully. So here we have option to add the triggers. Okay, so we have to create the API gateway. So when we hit the API gateway, it has to be triggered to this our AWS Lambda function. Okay, that's what we are going to do. So click on add trigger. So here we have API gateway, click on that. So create new API. So choose create an API. Okay, so here we have two options, HTTP API and the REST API. So if you want to provide the REST API, so now I'm going to make use of HTTP API here. So security, I'm not going to provide any security. Let's click on open and let's add this. Okay, so API gateway is added successfully, guys. So it's going to be triggered from API gateway to the AWS Lambda. So when we hit the API gateway, it has to be triggered from API gateway to this AWS Lambda. That's what we are going to do now. And the API gateway details you will find here. So the endpoint and all the methods and the informations related to details here. Okay. And now, so we have to upload our jar file here. Okay. So go to your project and it's success, guys. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the jar file. So let's upload. So this is the AWS jar. Okay, the naming convention always ends with like this. Okay, and save this. Okay, saved successfully. Now we have to provide handlers. Okay, so in the runtime settings you will see the handler information. Okay, let's edit this and let's go to your project. So we have two handlers. So I'm going to test first student handler. Okay, let's copy this package. Paste here dot. So the handler class name you have to provide here. That's it. Save this. And after that, in the configuration, we have to provide the environment variables. That is function name. So the function name we will find it in our main application. So that is, let's maximize this. That is find by name here. Okay, let's copy this and edit this and add the environment variables. The function name key always function underscore name. Okay, and value should be our function name. So that is find my name here. So save this and it's saved successfully. Now it's ready to test, guys. How we are going to be test? So let's click on API gateway. We have to trigger from API gateway. So let's click on API endpoint. It's opening, guys. Okay, it is throwing some internal server error, no problem. Now what you can do is, so you can provide name, sorry it's in lowercase, name equal to Tom here. Okay, let's hit. So it's written our data. So if you want to see in JSON format, let's open Google Chrome here. Okay, let's hit this. See here. Okay, it's written the data, guys. So ID, name and age. Now so we have another handler, right? So that is, so this is the get method. Okay, so now I want to test the post method, so which is going to be return some response. So this one. Okay, let's copy this get response. So before that we need to change the handler, right? So our handler is my API gateway handler, guys. Let's copy this, go back to your Lambda and code. So in the runtime settings, go and edit and change this handler. Package is same, but the handler is different, guys. So my API gateway handler. Let's save this and come back and copy your function name, that is get response, and let's change your function name as well in configuration. So environment variables and go to environment variables and edit this and change this function name. Okay, let's save this. And now so let's copy this endpoint. So I want to hit the post endpoint, right? So the post method is not supported in the browser, so I'm going to test it from sorry guys, from postman. Let's take post and body. So let's provide some data here. So ID, so I'm going to provide one here and I'm going to provide age some 36. Okay, so let's hit this endpoint. Oh sorry guys, there is a comma here. Okay, let's hit it again. So it has to be written that API gateway response, guys. Okay, let's wait for that. Okay, so it returns the response, guys. And so 201 the status code is created. Okay, so we got the response as well. That means like it working fine, guys. So this is how you can work with like API gateway. Okay, so this is a simple program, guys. So that's it. So if you like this video, please go ahead and like. So if you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks, bye, have a good day.